Hey y'all, FunSize here. Welcome to Ark Survival Evolved Mobile. So today we've got an instructional video for you. I'm going to be going over the differences between mobile and PC and console, the things you need to know, things that are somewhat obvious at first, and then the things that you wouldn't see at first, but you really do need to know so you're prepared mentally for them when they come at you, just as far as basic game mechanic differences. First thing we're going to do when we get in the menu like this, join the Discord. You can see in the bottom left-hand corner they've got Twitter, Facebook, Discord, Reddit, webpage. Join the Discord. They've got a really good Discord community. They keep it nice and clean. And most importantly, they've got a really responsive dev team on there. They're on there 5 days a week, pretty much around the clock. They've got a night team and everything. They'll listen to your suggestions. As far as at least my experience, it's a night and day difference between Wardrum and Wildcard. Wildcard, I'm sure, is doing their best with their resources, and they've got a much bigger game to maintain. But Wardrum really does a stellar job as far as just customer service across the board from any companies I've seen, game development or not. So I recommend Wardrum. I recommend getting on their Discord, getting in touch with them. Respect their time, of course. It's a very limited team and they do their best, but it's a really great community. So join the Discord. Recommend that. If you don't have Discord, okay, you don't have to, but you're missing out. And I'm on there a lot too, so you can always come on there and talk to me. Alright, so when we go to play Ark here, what you're going to see is the single player and multiplayer choices. You can manage your save data, you can save your data to the cloud, you can back up 2 or 3 different saves here for your single player save. Not sure exactly how that is on PC, but this is pretty cool. They're working on some optimizations on that so you can fit even more on the cloud. But we're going to hit play single player here, and this will give you an idea of what you get when you open up a new save. So first of all, there are survival modes. You have casual, which is really laid-back play. This is for if you're a really casual gamer. You're not looking for the typical Ark experience. You want to just have fun with it. You don't lose anything when you die. So all your stuff comes right back to your body when you respawn. Also, you get 100% of the resources back when you demolish something. Survivor mode is basically vanilla Ark. And hardcore mode here is really hardcore. You lose all your stuff, you lose a lot of XP and engrams, but you gain XP at 2 times, and harvesting rates are doubled too. So those are the survival modes. And on the right we have difficulty levels. Difficulty levels are a big difference from PC in the fact that easy is the closest thing you have to a standard vanilla PC server. You get 100% of the XP that you would on PC. However, wild dinosaurs are only level 30. You can breed above this. Obviously, the max level on Ark servers is typically 450, and if you breed above that, or if you tame above that, they get wiped overnight as the server refreshes. So, easy is great that way. Medium, and a lot of people hang out on this, is 80% of the XP you would get on a vanilla server, and you get up to 150 creatures appearing on the island wild. Again, 450 is your maximum level you can tame and keep. And then hard, which is 50% of the XP and 300 max dinos. So if you tame a 300 level dino and get 100% efficiency, you're talking about a maxed out dino at tame, and you can't level it up at all, which actually isn't that great, but more on that another time. And then you have Brutal. This is a newer feature. This is personally my favorite mode to play on. I know I'm doing easy on my current series that I'm running, but Brutal's my favorite to play on. If you're going to do this, you really need to know how to level well on mobile. You need to know how mobile works because it is a pain otherwise. You literally get 5%, that's right, 5% of the XP that you would on a standard PC server. So leveling up on Brutal is a crawl, as it says here. You get up to 450 level creatures wild, and 600 is the maximum level tame you can get on Brutal. So there's no crafting XP, and you get 10% for kills. So the best way to level up is to go out and do mass killings on, say, Carno Island or something like that. So those are the difficulty levels for you. We're going to back out of this. Alright, so looking at unofficial servers here, you've got your typical selection screen here, and you've got in the bottom right-hand corner your different options. You can select your difficulty level, your region, and your game type. So you have PvE, PvP, and PvX, which is basically a map with a big square of PvP in the middle and then PvE at the borders. And you can take it or leave it. There's pros and cons to that. They also have PvX Clock, which is a map where there's a wedge of PvP that makes its way in a rotation around the map, so you can build in a certain area and know that when your time of day comes around, you can be on there to defend. I think it's a 2-hour period where the wedge stays where you are, and then it moves on to the next spot. It's like a big clock. So that's an interesting concept. They're still working out the details on that, but it looks really promising. So that's what you need to know in the menu, basically. You've got your difficulty levels, you've got your survival modes, and you've got your game types. Let's hop into the game and see what we can look at there. So this is the mobile UI, a little bit different from PC. We'll start on the bottom left, where you've got a chat box here, some canned responses here, dictation, typing, a chat log, and 3 kinds of chat: global, local, and tribe chat. There's been a request for alliance-only chat versus in-tribe-only chat, and that might be in the works. We'll see if they come out with that. There is no voice chat in game, so if you need to use that, go to Discord and use their voice chat feature. On the left side, you have a little slider that pops out here. This has some basic non-essentials, things you don't have to access right off the bat. Maybe crouch and whistles would be something you really need access to, but they're pretty easy to get to, and once you get used to it, you just kind of swipe over and grab your thing. But you have photo mode, emotes, whistles, inventory, change of view to third person, and crouch. And whatever you use here last is going to pop up as a little icon down by the chat window for easy access. This is what the whistle menu looks like. On the right, you have the hotbar. Hotbar can be configured as I have it here, which I highly recommend, or as, again, another little slider thing with all the items in your hotbar. It's significantly bigger since there are 10 items, and it's not nearly as precise when you're selecting. Occasionally you'll hit the wrong thing when opening this menu, and you really don't want that to happen when you're trying to pull out your club in a hand-to-hand PvP battle or something along those lines. So I recommend keeping hotbar as it is, like this. Any extra actions you can take are right above the hotbar there. So scopes and whatnot, that's right there. Secondary attack can be configured to 2-finger taps on one or other side of the screen. Down at the bottom in the middle here, you have the basic character info, hunger, thirst, all that. There are 2 types of doing this. You can do advanced settings, which is what I have, or just basic information where it only tells you stuff when you need to know about it. I always like to know what's up with my character, so I want to know what his food level is, even if it's not close to being empty yet, things like that. So I have it on advanced settings. So that's the in-game UI. When looking at something, you have a little description comes up at the top. If you tap on that, you get an advanced description. And on the upper left, you can look at your info for that item. You can demolish the item, and you can access its inventory. We're going to do that now, and I will show you what it looks like inside your inventory. This is what happens when you open an inventory. You have the item inventory on your left, your inventory on the right, search features they just introduced on both, transfer all buttons, standard stuff pretty much. Some stuff is going to stick with you no matter what. Custom cosmetics, crafting stations, amber, we'll get into those later. Swipe over to the left here, you get your basic inventory screen, hotbar options, and inventory access, as well as access to crafting. And on the left top, you have pursuits, which are an awesome quest feature that is on mobile. We'll handle that in just a little bit here. Swiping back to the right, you get your character screen. This shows what armor you're wearing, what you look like. You can tap and hold, spin your little guy around. Shows active buffs. I have a 2x XP running right now. And then on the right here, you get your different character stats. Something to keep in mind, tames. You only have 12 tame slots as a character, solo. If you join a tribe and there are 2 people, you have 24. Now, there is a little boost you can get that adds 6 more. I'll get into that when I get into the XP buff I have running in the store. But keep an eye on your tame slots, especially when solo. Balance your tames, figure out what you actually need, because you can't have all that many. One swipe over, you have your engram tree. Pretty self-explanatory. If you don't know how this works, maybe you should be playing a little bit more PC before trying mobile. And then over here you've got game settings, things like tribe manager, your explorer notes, account links, which are useful if you have, say, an iPad and an iPhone and you want to play the same account on both. You can hop back and forth using account linking, that's great. Server info, which is a nifty little tab that tells you tame numbers, structures, wealth, FPS, players online, all that. Keep an eye on the tames and structures over here on the left, as mobile has lower capabilities just because your phones can't handle that much. They had to limit how much could be on a server, and so when it hits that max, you're stuck. You've got to either destroy something or kill something before you can tame more or build more. You don't often hit that max, but it happens. So, pretty good, interesting info you can scroll through here. Tribe Manager, pretty self-explanatory. You can do all the different tribe stuff here. Swipe right, you've got all the different tribe settings. And tame settings, and structure ownership, and all of that. You can also change your name, which I changed it to Tribe of SR for the screen recording that we have going today. And the last screen, which we're going to touch on later, is the store. This is the most complex screen, and I'm going to be going into this in depth. Alright, so a little bit more detail on pursuits, which are in your inventory here. Pursuits are things the game offers you to give you quests and missions. They come in a variety of shapes and sizes, and they give you a variety of rewards. You've got the daily pursuit, which awards you Ancient Amber. Ancient Amber is the currency of the game. You use it in the mobile store. I will explain more on it later. But the daily pursuit gives you an escalating amount of Ancient Amber depending on how many times you do it in a row. So the first time you do it, you get 2 Amber. You do it 5 times, I think you get 3 Amber per day, and so on and so forth. And it scales up until you do it 50 days in a row. That's pretty big. Let's see what today's is. When you start a pursuit, you get a little notification in the top that tells you what you need to do. In this case, it's Direwolf Hunt Kill 20. If you're in multiplayer, tribe mates can play this pursuit simultaneously. Good to know. I'm just going to abandon this pursuit so I can show you a little bit more of what's available. We've got other types of pursuits. The game. This is one that will have you go around and kill other survivors. Kill enough survivors, you finish the quest, you get a reward. Generally an XP chunk. Pursuits are most useful for gaining XP. They're the biggest chunks of XP you will get anywhere on mobile, and you want to make sure you take good advantage of them. Hunts are a little different. They are specifically targeted hunts. You need a certain set of tools unlocked. You can see down here I have some locked ones that I don't have the right tool engrams learned to do these. I can learn those at the time. Hunts are good though because they provide you with blueprints and equipment. For example, hunting a Dilophosaurus gives me a good quality bow that I can use. So that's pretty much right off the bat. You can get a nice quality bow. Probably on an easy server you might get a journeyman or something along those lines, hopefully. Hunt Mega Piranha gives you an item from the store. Hunt Arenio gives you shotgun blueprint. Hunt Argentavis gives you Quetzal saddle. Hunt Dire Bear gives you a long neck blueprint. Hunt Raptor gives you a Gallimimus saddle. These I just know from experience. I don't remember what Basilosaurus gives you. So those are hunts. Then there are the other quests that have to do with your map. Finding the caves that are available in mobile gives you a bit of a boost in XP. There are ones like Grand Voyage that want you to build a raft and sail around the island. That gives you a few items and a big chunk of XP. Thin Air wants you to start at the bottom of the volcano and climb it on foot. Tame Dodo. The taming missions lead one to the next and award you with XP, and the newly acquired tame, with a significant chunk of XP, so that's always good. These are a few miscellaneous ones. This one will lead you to an Explorer note, and this one will lead you to use the photography mode that they have on mobile to take a picture of something. Building of houses, I can do that one right now, probably since I have a little house around me. This one, First Little Femia wants me to build a thatch building, but it should count my stone building since it's a higher tier. So let's start that and see what happens. Pursuit started, build frame, build walls, build roof, finished. So I just finished that all at once, and you saw it awarded me with a little bit of XP there at the bottom. So that is that for the building quests. And there are a few more down here. There are clothing quests where you have to equip and know a set of clothing, and it gives you a piece of good quality gear from that set as a reward. So those are pursuits. Use them to your advantage, especially the bigger chunks of XP the ones you get from leaving a cave, for example, with an artifact for the first time, you get a huge amount of XP. Swamp Cave gives you 40,000 XP. So make sure you have a note running during that. Make sure you have any buffs you can running. So those are pursuits. Alright, I hope y'all really enjoyed this little segment on mobile differences from PC and console. Tune in for the next segment when that comes out in the next couple of days. We're going to be hitting all the different features that I feel are key to know. I'm not by any means going to be covering everything, and you can definitely check the wiki. It's your friend. There's a great wiki team. Shout out to the Wayward Wolf, in particular, is one of the wiki editors that's focused on getting mobile content out there for mobile players on the wiki. So check the wiki. If there's anything in here that you have questions about that I don't mention, also throw it in comments for me, and I'll be sure to include it in another video if I get the chance. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see y'all next time.